Yo, what's good YouTube? Antayami here, back with another video. And in today's video, I brought back my unfortunate didn't qualify for the qualifier to get into NAWCQ. But I played a couple of side events and I got one dub out of a side event and a second place, and I lost in one, I think my first round. And I also didn't do too hot in the 3v3. But I want to go ahead and show off this deck list because this is kind of like a last second decision to take a deck that wasn't something I was very comfortable with, and could have been prepared a little bit better. And I don't really think that this deck in particular was the right choice to take, due to the fact that a lot of people were on Dark World No More, everybody was on Cosmics and Bestials and Eradicator. And that came up a lot in a ton of different matches. But without further ado, let me go ahead and get started into the deck list. It was very fun. I feel like the deck was still very powerful. I believe this deck is still tier 1. It's very consistent. It rewards for really good plays, and it also rewards very, very, precise lines, and it plays around a lot of things if you play it correctly. So it's still a very strong deck. But I do believe that the for hire version of the deck is a lot stronger. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So, let's start with the main deck. We're going to open up with the triple Lilla, double Kiss-a-Kill, 1 Frost, and double Sunny Snitch for the Light Twin monsters. I really feel like this right here was really, really strong, and I like the ratios of this. At one point, I was only playing 1 pink, and I feel like the second pink came up a couple times. Frost is very, very good for the draw, but there's been times when I saw this card literally non-stop. So, I mean, I still play it because the extra draw does come up a lot of the times to put another Runick card in your hand, but it's very, very strong. So, I honestly adore the Live Twin lineup. I thought it was really good, very strong. For the Spright lineup, of course, you play the triple blue. You play the double jet, 1 red, 1 carrot. And I opt to play double starter just to have like a little bit of follow-up. I think a lot of builds only play like 1 jet, 1 starter. Sometimes like even smashers. But I never liked smashers, just like I didn't really like opening Frost. It kind of like seems breaky, and if you get hand trapped sometimes, it just becomes really dead. So personally, I like the double starters because I like actually like, playing monsters, and getting access to your Spright engine is really, really strong. So I just opt for more consistency, and I think it worked out. It played out very well. For my non-engines, I play triple Book of Moon, and I also played triple Evilly Match. Evilly Match was insane, but I did lose 1 game to Branded because I went into battle phase and they branded in red and made a I can't think what that card's name is. The fusion. I can't think of his name. The one where it special summons both monsters on each side of the field. That came up once, and it really made me like skeptical on this card in particular. But I feel like overall it still performed. I won games because of it, so very strong. Book of Moon. I honestly felt like it could have been a better card in most scenarios, but in a lot of cases it did win me some games. It was very strong versus Kashtira. And it's a really good card going first because you can set it and you can Book a Moon, because a lot of times they'll summon 2 monsters and they will try to like beat over both twins, and I allow one to get beat over and then Book a Moon the other, and that was basically just like game over. So I do like these non-engine slots, but yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Moving into the Runick spell cards, I played the double Fountain. Of course, I played triple Tip. I played the triple Flashing Fire, triple Freezing Curse, triple Destruction, triple Runick Slumber, and 1 Dispelling. I feel like this is pretty standard for the most part. So nothing to really say about that. It's just Runick. They draw a lot. Moving into the side deck, I played triple super Grave of the Super Agent Organism. It's really hard to say. Yes, so I played 3 of these. This is basically says FTK to Branded, because Branded is like one of those matches I was not really like happy to play against. Usually in game 1, if they go first, normally they do win because they have so much recursion, they have a lot of follow-up, they make Dragoons, they can do a lot of different things. It's really hard to break the bar, which is like Runick and the Spright engine and stuff like that. So this right here is basically a Mystic Mine, and it wins me a lot of games. And it comes up in a lot of different other matchups too. Like sometimes it can be weird versus like Flunder. It came up because it stops Impin from attacking, and it gives me more like chances to kind of like combat that. Sometimes I play this versus Kashtira. It's very awkward for them to out stuff like that. It kind of like frees them up a little bit, make them play awkward plays, and I can capitalize on that. It's a really good card. I like it a lot. I would not ever take this out of my side deck. It's really strong. Triple Ash for like the Branded matchup, and Labyrinth was really, really strong. Bell, very, very strong. Also for the Labyrinth and Branded matchup. And also matchups that plays Bestials. I also played Nib. For people that didn't respect it, which people played into it a good amount of times, which I was kind of surprised. A couple Kashtira players played into it, and Dragon Lee played into it. There's just like some decks that sometimes just kind of play into it, and it's either like they either play around it or just kind of get Nib. And Nib came up a couple times, so it's really good. So that's a surprise factor. I played a double Gamma Seal for like mostly Kashtira and decks that play like towers, like Pearlies and stuff like that. Just kind of like deals with cards like Beast, you know, if I happen to run into a Beast. But Gamma Seal came up a couple times and won me games. It's just a really solid answer to just out a Rise Heart, which is like easy, because sometimes they'll like Product Prosperity and then attach the Goliath, and this right here just kind of like triples over it regardless. So it's just a strong answer to that. One Chaos Hunter because Mannequin Cat and Shifter and Red Resonator for time came up literally in one match and gave me the win. Going into the extra deck, we play double Hugin, one Gary, standard, one Gigantic Spright, one Mannequin Cat, pretty standard, one Evil Twin, or sorry, two Evil Twin Lillas, two Evil Twin Kiss-a-Kills, standard, Muckrocker, standard, IEP, pretty standard, Unicorn, pretty standard, Griffin, pretty standard, Trouble Study, and Unchained Abomination. All those were pretty standard. I feel like there's nothing to really talk about there. So yeah, that was the deck profile. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I will be back on making more profiles for this format since the season is basically over. I'll be coming up with some more things in the future. So if you guys want to, you know, leave a comment down below of like what other decks you guys want to see in the future, or things I'll be cooking up, because I will be playing more Pearlies, and I'll be bringing back tier, because I saw a lot of tier this weekend, and even though they didn't like top 8 or maybe like top 16, but there was a lot that was popping off and had insane records in Swiss. So I might be bringing that deck back for a little bit too as well. But with all that being said, thank you guys for all watching, and have a great day. Peace.